Hello, everybody. I'm back. No, and I really am back. I know that normally at 7 or 10 past 7, the first thing you hear is our jingle telling you that we're standing on business. And then I go in with the intro for my guest, but we're still waiting for our guest to come through this evening. So I will play another song. You know, it's one of my favorite songs here. So just to get us in the mood, to get us in the vibe, for our conversation this evening, that is the song I'm going to play. It is a song called A Level High by Radiance Acapella. I absolutely love this song. And given that it is the eve of Heritage Day in South Africa, I think it's such a nice song to get us into the festivity and into the energy of Heritage Day. Here is A Level High, Radiance Acapella.
I was thinking I was all alone. I need someone to come along. I need someone to pick me up. You were standing, hands stretched out, you were waiting. I called your name, you picked me up and gave me a better life. I was sinking and you picked me up. You gave me power when I took your hand. You took my faith to a level high. Now I'm singing praises cause you picked me up to a level high.
microphone working?
Hallelujah.
You are tuned into Business Sense on Adventist World Radio, powered by SID Media.
Good evening and welcome back to Business Sense here on Adventist World Radio. Now, I want you to imagine this. You get a video call, right? Like the people who are on the stream are seeing now. And it's from your boss asking you to urgently transfer money. You recognize the face, you hear the voice. It's unmistakably them. But here's the twist, it isn't. Welcome to the world of deepfakes. Technology so advanced that it can mimic not just how we look, but how we speak, how we think, and how we behave. Suddenly, the age old wisdom of seeing is believing collapses because our eyes can see. And what we see and hear is not what it seems to be. So tonight we're diving into this fascinating and frightening frontier with Muyowa Mutemwa, who helps us to separate hype from reality and explains what deepfakes mean for security, trust, and the future of information. Muyowa, welcome. Why am I saying Muyowa? Muyowa, welcome. I can't wait to unravel this with you. How's it going?
I'm okay. I think my audio is working fine. I'm not sure. Can you just confirm?
Yes, your audio is working great. It's just your video that we don't see.
Okay, awesome. I've got an idea for the video because I think I
Yeah.
might have fried my camera while I was doing
Oh
this.
no.
But I think maybe if you allow me to share my screen,
Okay.
I might have an idea for that.
Okay. Let me see if it's possible to. I don't know. Do you just share or do I have the rights? I don't know. Let me see.
I have no
I should
idea.
be. I should be able to give you the right to do that, right? Or
Probably,
just
I don't
try
know.
and let me know.
Okay, let me try share. I want a specific window.
Mhm. And for those who are on the radio, what is happening now is we are possibly about to see a presentation. So if you are like me and you learn visually and not just audibly, please do join us on the SID Media YouTube page where we will be having this discussion at length. But if you prefer to listen, then that's absolutely okay. You can stay on here as well. Muyowa, are you winning?
Let me share my whole entire screen. For some
Okay.
odd reason, I can't share a specific window.
Okay.
I am sharing. Just let me know when you can see something. Yes, you can.
All
So
right.
this is how I look
Okay.
like.
Barack Obama.
Yes.
Okay.
To be in camera, but for some odd reason, it didn't work.
Mm.
Yeah. But
Okay.
this is a live video of me. That's my headsets, and
Mm.
yeah.
But you don't sound like him though.
Well, I don't. This particular one is just for video demonstrations.
Mm.
I tried to do one for audio, but I was not able to get around to it.
Yeah.
We're also able to change a couple of faces. I can select someone who I think is good looking.
Mm.
So just wait for it to load, and you should see the
Okay.
gentleman there. Um, and that's how I look
Idris
like.
Al-Batle.
Yes.
This is freaky. This is actually very scary.
Yeah. So there is a lag on the video in the sense that
Yeah.
my computer, funny enough, my laptop is not as powerful enough, and there is a
Mm.
lag. But generally, when we do these type of demonstrations at work, they're actually quite smooth, and it
Mm.
comes through on the camera. So I would be talking as Adris. Yeah.
Scary, scary business. I want us to start with the basics, Muyowa. Deep
All right.
fakes sound almost sci-fi, but they're here and well, I want to say real, but they're not real. So how can you describe some of the different types of deep fakes that we're seeing today?
All right. So, look, it all has to depend on, I think, the technology that you have at your disposal.
Mm,
Um, there is some technology that is really good,
yeah.
and then there's the poor ones. So it just so happens the ones I've brought today are actually some of the poor ones. Um,
Okay.
so that is basically the range of technology. And I think the last time I was on the
Mm.
show, I did illustrate the story of a lady who was called into a meeting
Yes,
by her
you
CEO,
did. Mm.
and she saw her CEO spoke to her CEO, and transactions were made. So that basically is the range of these type of things.
Mm. Oh man, a few years ago, this tech felt out of reach. Now, anyone with a laptop and internet connection can dabble. How accessible are deepfake tools today? And how has the accessibility changed the game in terms of online manipulation?
All right, so it has to do with let's start first of all with the equipment that you have. So the
Mm,
laptop or the computer that you have plays a key role, because
mm,
ultimately that is the device that's going to allow you to either do a proper deepfake or a shallow
mm,
one.
mm,
And so the technology is important. So buying that computer that can use what we call GPU, which is your graphic processing unit, where you have a specialized processing element on the computer that allows you to process these images. So that's the
mm,
first part. The second part is then just selecting available software on the internet. Some of it you pay for it. Like this one that I'm using is actually, well, it's free.
Mm,
and you can actually just set it up. It takes quite some time to actually set it up, and then it
mm.
works like a charm. So that's how accessible this technology is, in one way or the other.
Muyowa, I saw a video the other day on my Instagram, and this lady who is her, actually her, was sharing a video that is a deep fake. When I tell you the movement of the mouth, her whole body, her voice, literally, and it was video snippets of things she has posted. So her getting out of the car, going, walking to the store, whatever. And it was so shocking because if you don't know, you would really think, yo, this is the person that is purported in this video. And of course, she was scamming people and asking for money and saying things that aren't true. But that is how sophisticated it's gotten, and it's so scary.
Yeah, look, it's actually true because at the end of the day, I think we 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 are creatures that are prone to want to connect to people based on the
Mm,
ability to see and
mm,
talk to people. So the moment our curiosity is met in terms of we can see the person on video and we can talk to them, and
mm,
it sort of alleviates any fears um, of someone, misbehaving. The moment you
mm,
see someone, as in the moment you see a structure of a person,
mhm,
and you look into their eyes and you can make eye contact with them, it's the moment you begin to think, okay, great.
mm.
Here's another human being I'm making contact with. There's a psychological element to that, that all of a sudden all our fears just subside. And
Yeah.
and in some cases, depending on your character, you can now divulge the most sensitive or secret elements of your
Oh no.
personality.
Mm. That is so scary. That's so scary. I want us to talk risks, right? Beyond entertainment for parody, deepfakes have serious implications. What kind of security threats, perhaps, are we talking about, from identity theft to corporate fraud?
Well, the risks are big. If you
Mm,
actually look at it, the risks are big. Like with anything, there is the pros and the cons. The risks
mm.
are always there, and I think
Cons, not pros to deepfake.
yes, there are
Muyowa.
pros to deepfake. They are, trust me. There are pros to deepfake in the sense that the reason why this technology is built is to sort of
Yeah.
meet certain user requirements. So there
Okay.
are pros to deepfake, in as much as
Mm-hmm.
today we are discussing more the challenges related to deepfake.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the pros, you have to look at what exactly is the use case, what exactly is humanity trying to achieve here,
Please
and
tell us.
and therein lies the reason why we would want to use deepfake. So
Okay.
for example, you can think of scenarios where, um, let's say, for example, in law enforcement, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
We and this happens a lot where, for example, there are known criminal syndicates
Mm,
who law enforcement is trying to infiltrate,
mm,
and sometimes all they have is a contact number or a WhatsApp number of some sort,
mm, mm,
and we need to get to a space where we are able to actually what's the word for it, communicate as if it's the person that we have control over. So let's say,
mm,
for example, a member of a syndicate is arrested, and we want to use that person's profile to infiltrate
mm,
the syndicate. And
mm,
we want to build a reputation that, look, whatever is out there in the news is not true. I'm actually fine and I'm doing well. That's where deepfake would come into play. So there's quite a lot of reasons why I would want to use deepfake. This is just one example of that. And
mm,
it's not to say that we want to trick criminals, but sometimes
mhm,
it gets to a level where um, the ethics have to go out the window. In my
mm,
space, the ethics have to go out the window in the sense that sometimes the work that we do has to involve uh, sort of bypassing some ethics in essence
mm,
to get to a desired goal in a nutshell.
mm. I need to read up on this some more. pros of deepfake? That's what I need to. That's what I need to look into. But we live in an era where information shapes elections, reputations, and even peace. How can deepfakes be weaponized to spread misinformation or manipulate public opinion? And I'm thinking about the interview that Helen Ziller had with Annalem Dota yesterday. If I were
Yeah.
her, I would be wishing that that was a deepfake of me and not me for real.
Yeah. Look, I think that's a good question that you're raising. So with
Mm,
that question, I just want to see if I'm able to play a couple of sounds,
okay.
and uh, these couple of sounds, I just need to make sure that I don't play them now. Um, this is where, for example, when we talk about elections, anything could go.
Mm,
So for example, let's say you hear a clip,
yeah.
so and so has said something,
Mm-hmm.
and you ask yourself a question. Well, did they really say that? But
Mm,
you are seeing evidence that you are hearing evidence that this person has said this, and that's where now the challenge starts to create a problem. So let me see if I can play these clips.
okay.
Uh, let's see. I want to share a video file.
Mm.
Um, okay. Um, yeah, I was almost dribbled by technology, but I managed to survive.
not not you.
Well, it happens. It happens. It happens. Let me share. I need to share my audio.
Okay.
Okay, I must follow these steps to share my audio. Wow. Um, okay, I must just share. Okay. Yeah, this is very complicated.
Mm,
Uh, okay, I'm going to share my entire screen, and then
okay.
I'm going to also share an audio. So I want to play these two clips. So
Sure.
the first one is just listen to it.
So AWR listeners, deepfake is usually a video, audio, or images created using AI.
Adventist World Radio listeners, you really need to be really careful when looking or listening to what someone said.
Hello, Adventist World Radio listeners. I am so glad to be here. It really is a pleasure. We are going to talk so much about AI today that you will get tired of listening to us and you will tell us, please stop. But we are going to
Mm,
say, we need to keep going. We need to keep talking.
All right. So those three audio clips, they were not
mm.
spoken by the people in question. I think
Yes.
the first one was from Elon Musk, the second one was
Mm,
from Obama, and the third
mm.
one was from Donald Trump. So
Yeah.
think about elections where an audio is circulating on social media,
Mm,
and you get to find out that this is not the person who said this, but it's really
mm,
making the rounds because what the person is saying there is either damaging to their party or
mm,
is either a good thing. Yeah, it reminds me of our president said the other day that a particular party is good at running municipalities, and that went
mm,
wild on social media. Now imagine if he hadn't
mm,
said that. Yeah.
mm. That is interesting. That is so interesting. And what I picked up, maybe it's just me, but like, does it also follow their logic? Because that is exactly what Donald Trump would say. It's going to be so. Does it also use their logic?
Well, so those particular three scripts, how I actually created them was I wrote down what the person should say.
Okay. Yeah. That
So,
makes
so
sense.
for example, when he said we're going to keep talking about this, and we're going
Until you
to
tell us to
something,
stop.
yeah,
Yeah.
that I wrote that, and it
Mm,
sounded just like him. I'm not sure
just
if the
like
Obama
him.
one sounded like him,
It
but
did.
this is where the research comes into play, where you sort of try and understand what a person would say, and their
Mm,
mannerisms and the way they behave, and then you
mm,
tailor market according to that. Yeah.
mm. And beyond the individual, Muyowa, what happens to society if deepfakes become so common that people start doubting everything they see and hear? Could we be heading toward a future of complete distrust?
I think so. I think so. One of the interesting podcasts that I actually listened to was saying
Mm,
the next time you see someone in a video, you ask them to do a handstand, pull their nose, and do all of these funny things. But
mm,
it's probably going to get to a level where I think there was an advent of Google glasses, where people
mm,
started
mm,
walking
mm,
around with
mm,
these glasses.
mhm,
And now we're not going to trust what we see in person.
mm.
I meet you along the street, and I can't trust that it's you,
Yeah.
because we just can't believe what we're seeing, even on the news, everywhere. So it's going to get to a level where we might need a little bit more things for us to actually trust what the person is saying. You
Yeah.
might be asked to, for example, touch the screen and verify your biometrics or some funny thing like that, just for me to trust that you're having a
Mm,
conversation with me. So it
mm,
becomes very
mm.
interesting from that perspective.
That is hectic. And of course, tech often fights tech, right? So, what technologies or methods exist right now to detect deepfakes, and how reliable are they even?
All right, so there's quite a lot of technology that exists.
Mm,
Some of those technologies is the use of AI, artificial intelligence, to
mm.
sort of detect if something is generative AI. Because what I'm doing on the screen is actually called generative AI, where I'm
Yeah.
generating new content using artificial intelligence to look like it's
Mm,
real.
mm,
Now, in most cases, we've got AI detecting AI, but in some cases,
mm,
also, what we can also do is we can get to a level where we, we we use what is called a trusted network. So that is one
mm,
example. So let's say, for example, and I think you've seen this on X, the social media platform X, where the search engine in the background searches everywhere and tries to check, is this video that I'm seeing a true representation? And then
mm,
if it is, it will put a community note there to say, yeah, no, this video is fake.
mm.
So there are possibilities where technology is being developed to sort of look at ways to detect artificial intelligence usage and
Mm,
deepfake.
mm.
Yeah.
And what if the detectives get it wrong? What's the risk of flagging something real as fake? And what could that mean for journalism, for justice, or even personal reputations?
Well, the risks, I think at this stage, one can't really sort of put your finger in it and say this is the maximum risk, but you can already see
Mm,
that this could quickly get out of hand, in the sense that you
mm,
would now be taking someone to court, because, let's say, for example, our president has said something.
mm,
Now the opposition party would then want to take him to court for saying something that he hasn't said, or someone takes instructions and acts on them, and those instructions could mean that someone survives or someone lives or dies.
mm,
So
mm,
the risks are actually endless, and I
mm.
think it's important for people to understand, um, and consider things twice before they actually just act on something that's been done.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I have parents who they love listening to YouTube videos with this generative
Mm.
AI voice, where
Yeah.
it's recounting the news of what's happening in the world, and for them
Mm,
that's news. They
mm,
don't sit down anymore and watch the news at 7 o'clock prime time.
mm.
Yeah, so you can just imagine.
Ish. Do you know of a case where somebody was caught in a deepfake scandal and they were actually brought to justice?
Yeah, look, I think in the legal space, I might have mentioned
Mm.
this example previously. There was a lawyer who, um, we are all busy.
Yeah.
T- Time that we don't have the limited amount of time. And so
Mm.
this lawyer goes to an AI and says to the AI, well, give me some cases related to this particular thing that I'm investigating. And the AI gives
Yeah.
the person cases.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the AI fails to tell the person that these stories are made up. And the person then asks the AI, how true are these stories? The AI then
Mm.
gives links to where the person could read more on the story. But the
Ah.
person says, look, I'm not going to read more. I'm just going to take what you're saying because I'm seeing that the link is there. And so the person goes to court and
Mm.
presents the case. And you know, our legal system, and this is in our country, our legal system, the judges, once they've sat through a court case, they actually retire to their quarters and they go through the evidence and they look at the information.
Mm. Mm.
And as the judge was reviewing the information and wanted to click on the story, just couldn't find anything related to the
Oh
story. A-
no.
And that's when they realized, no, there was a use of AI. And that lawyer was actually disbarred.
Mm.
So there has been cases where employees have made use of AI and failed to disclose it. And I think
Mm.
one of the things that organizations fail to do is train their employees on the correct use of
Mm.
generative AI,
Mm.
because people just want to do things quickly. It starts off with us being children when we want to just finish the homework quickly. We go on
Yes.
Google, we copy the answers. Now this thing tells us exactly what we want to hear. Yeah.
Mm. Oh man. And you know what else I'm curious about? Because I think the last time you mentioned that these are like normally young kids, 17-year-olds sitting in some back room or some basement generating all of these AIs. Has any one of them been caught? Is it easy to trace and find them?
Well, when it comes to universities, maybe let me speak about that one because
Mm.
I do work with one of the universities quite closely, and I
Yeah.
had a very interesting discussion with a supervisor slash lecturer, and he was telling me, listen, the mini thesis
Mm.
that's meant for a student to graduate with an honors
Mm.
degree, that whole mini thesis was generated by AI, and the student then submits
Oh.
that as their own work. So
Mm.
so we are seeing cases where something is due the next day and someone wants to submit
Mm.
that, and because they're submitting it late, they now want to find ways to quickly get the answer. So there has
Mm.
been cases from legal to even normal job employees. I mean, I work in an
Mm.
office where some of the staff members, you find that across the organization, they're making use of AI. There's a
Mm.
nomination of who is the best employee. And as you're reading through the nominations, you can just see this is generative AI. There is no way. And it's smart. You know what generative AI can do? It will go on
Yeah.
LinkedIn,
Mm.
pick up some stuff, what that you've done, and then
Mm.
just put it in a 3 sentence and say how wonderful of a person you are. And you can
Mm.
tell this is so irrelevant to the discussion. It's generative
Yes.
AI. Yeah.
Yes. Hectic. Please empower people like you and I who are on social media every day, who are getting information from the internet to reference for something or the other. How are we able to spot? What are the quick ways or hacks to be able to spot that this is AI, this is deepfake, this is real? Uh, Help us.
All right. So the first things first. I've tried to keep my screen on as much as possible, and then the camera isn't working.
Mm,
The
mm,
first thing is generative AI. You can see that this is AI from the legs. So the ones that are
mm,
poor, you can see from the legs. The one that's audio, you can see from the way the person is speaking. I wanted to do a live conversation with maybe Barack Obama's voice. You could tell
mm,
that there is a delay in my voice and it doesn't
mm,
pronounce words correctly,
mm,
right? So that's the first thing. So usually most of the AI falls within that category. Then there's some AI that falls outside of that they've done a lot more learning. Their learning modules are much better than what we can perceive. In such cases, you will listen to someone say something, you can see their face, And you just need to then ask yourself a question. Are there other sources that confirm this? So you see someone saying something. It doesn't mean, okay, this is what the person has said. You need to then confirm, are there other credible sources? So let's say, for example, this is a matter of national security or national safety or health in our country. We know who are the credible sources. You know, the likes of SABC, ENCA. We need to check what are those credible sources saying. News 24, IOL. Are they all saying the same thing, right? And I know it's a lot to place the responsibility in the hands of journalists, because sometimes we complain about journalists. But unfortunately, it's gotten to that level now where we now have to say, what other credible sources are saying this, right?
Yeah.
And then the third and the last one is, we always need to think about what is being said in the video by this person. What is the impact if I act on it right now, right? So let's say, for example, the person in the video says, we all need to leave Gauteng right now. There's going to be bad weather. We need to understand, what is the impact of acting on that information right now.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
Then
there's
what
rapture happening today or tomorrow.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, we shouldn't be laughing about that, but exactly, you know,
Yeah.
what if credible sources came forward? Or, you know, what if people that we trust in society came forward and supported that theory? We need to then ask ourselves the question, what is the impact of me applying or believing what is being said right now? Yeah. And then therein also lies maybe a 3.1 element, which is, if this is too good to be true, then it's not real.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes it's also, this is too much doom and gloom, you know, like the rapture. You know, then the rapture story, the credible source there is the Bible. What does the Bible actually have to say? That is our News 24 / our
Business
IOL.
tech. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. What a maze. And I still feel like I'm at the start of the maze. I haven't even gone in. There's so much I don't know. Yeah. More than anything, I'm just like, if there's one thing that keeps coming up with the whole cybersecurity talk, it's just mindfulness and being aware. I think we've gone through life, perhaps maybe now in recent times, just mindlessly, right? We're mindlessly scrolling. I can even type a full message without looking at my phone, because I sort of know where my finger goes or where my finger has to go on the screen when I'm typing a message. And all of that can be done mindlessly. But with everything that's popping up now, with everything that's happening, it's forcing somebody to be mindful of what they're seeing, what they're engaging with, what it means, how they react to it. It is crazy.
Yeah, you're 100% right. I mean, we go through life just, we've got so many problems. I think that's number one thing. We've got so
we
many
do.
problems.
We do. The
We've
less
got so much.
thinking and decision making we have to make, the better.
Yeah, we've got so much pressure from life. Life has got a lot of pressure on us, whether it's financial, family related, workplace, you know, friends, relationship. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of things being asked from us, and sometimes we need time to actually process that, and we don't get the time to actually process that. And what it allows deepfake people to do is, they can quickly sneak in something that, you know, just passes by our mind without actually us paying attention to it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and so deepfake, people who want to utilize deepfake, the one thing they want to look for is opportunity that comes with speed, right? So they'll tell you something, and they'll tell you, you need to respond now. There's iPads from the iStore that are being sold at 750 Rand, right? All you need to do is come with your ID number. Let's go. And therein lies the problem. Or someone says there's a website that's selling iPads and they're delivering, and I've gotten mine, right? I've gotten mine, and I have it here, and I'm telling you, you know how many people who will then jump to that website
Oh
and try
man.
and buy that iPad online. They won't even check the reputation of the website. They won't check the reputation of anything, because in life, in spite of our pleasures, and we're always looking for quick gains. You know, in business world, they always say we need to take the low-hanging fruits. You know, the quick wins.
Yes, yes,
There's
yes.
a reason they say that, because as human beings, we are geared to do that.
That's what we do
You know,
anyway. Yeah.
if something is easy, we want to quickly just do it and gain
Mm,
the win, and
mm,
and move on to other challenging matters. And people understand that, and so they put things in areas where we believe they're quick wins, and that therein
mm.
lies the problem.
Yeah, we are in trouble. Thank you so much for your insights, even though we started off a bit rocky, but thank you that you were able to pull through and we could have this chat. Thank you so, so much.
All right, it's a pleasure.
Cheers, Mio. Yeah, my challenge to you would be that the next time a video pops up on your feed, just remember that not everything that looks real is real. And in an age where fakes can fool our eyes, the real skill will be learning to see with wisdom. And I think I'm going to say this every time we have these cyber security conversations. Let us be mindful. Even if it comes to a point where we're paranoid, where we don't believe everything we see, where we're just like, why does it have a com and not a .com? Even if we become that pedantic and we search things with a fine tooth comb, let's do that, because these are our lives and our safety and our finances and our identities that are on the line, our reputations, our jobs. We cannot afford to be caught unawares. And so let's just be very, very careful. Let us be curious. Let us be cautious. And above all, we need to be here. Vaker. Until next time, I am Numpumelelo Mbonane, and I hope you have just made sense of your business. Fresh mercies tomorrow. Ciao for now.
Adventist World Radio SID Media. We are not general practitioners. We are specialists in Bible-based content.